On this gorgeous day, we've made our way here to Rocky Mount, and I am joined today by Cody Boring, the Executive Director here at Rocky Mount. Cody, first of all, thank you for having us out here today.
Chris, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, we were out here on a brand new piece of property, and we're going to talk about that in just a moment that Rocky Mount has purchased. But let's talk about Rocky Mount. It is a great historic site, but it's so much more.
It absolutely is. So Rocky Mount is, what we tell people is, before Tennessee was Tennessee, it was called the Southwest Territory, and the Southwest Territory had a capital that was assigned by George Washington, and it was right here in Piney Flats. Our first governor of the Southwest Territory, Governor William Blount, lived here for those 2 years, and he governed over the area before later he moved down to Knoxville, and that's where the capital moved. So what we say here at Rocky Mount is Tennessee starts here because of that early government that took place on these capital grounds.
On a daily basis, what happens here at Rocky Mount?
So one of the things we do here at Rocky Mount is we do living history tours. So you come out to the site, we're trying to connect people to 1791. What you're doing is you're going to be going through the historic site, and we're connecting you to Tennessee heritage, but we're doing reenacting or interpretation, where we're connecting people to that early time period. So when you come out here, you're getting to see that early time period that our forefathers lived in.
And you know, I told you earlier, I grew up here, so many field trips from school were spent here at Rocky Mount. That is great, though, because that means that every generation, people are coming out here and learning more about the history of our region.
That's absolutely correct, and you know, that's our #1 customer is school groups and kids coming out here, and that is our mission, is to being able to help those people be connected to the past so that past is not forgotten.
And we're standing here on a piece of property that you all just recently purchased. Tell us about what went into getting this piece of property, and it's right next door to Rocky Mount.
Yeah, so right next door to Rocky Mount, as you drive by, you're going to see development taking place, and that's been something that's been a big concern of us. So while we recognize development is a great thing for the region, we also recognize that we need to hold on to our past. So one of the properties that was right next to Rocky Mount was one of the oldest farms in Tennessee that was owned by the late Sally Bachman. So we've actually been able to purchase that from the Bachman family. So now we own the whole piece of property that goes up and down Hyder Hill Road. And it really is a nice property with many different features that we're really wanting to highlight.
And one of the big features is this big red tobacco barn we got right here behind us. I mean, that is a piece of our history. I mean, no matter how you look at it, tobacco was a big part of our economy and our region here growing up. I grew tobacco, and I know a lot of other folks did too.
Absolutely. So, I mean, this barn is absolutely beautiful, and the thing about it is our association is planning to restore it back to its natural beauty to make sure that it is treasured for generations to come.
And you also have some other plans for the entire piece of property. You're telling me about some of those. Tell our viewers.
So, everybody, when you drive by this property, one of the things we're wanting to do to it is not hold on to this for ourselves, but turn this into a community asset that Piney Flats, Johnson City, and the Tri-Cities can enjoy. So our strategic planning committee is working on it right now, trying to figure out how exactly we turn this into something the community can use as far as walking trails, amphitheater, a nature conservancy, and really something that really benefits the town.
And, you know, we were talking earlier too. I love this because I love coming out and talking to folks before I do interviews with them. But really what you're trying to do is you got the past over here. You want this to be the present and the future on this new property.
Absolutely. So Rocky Mount, we have some really neat things. So we have our 17th century building. We have our 18th century barn across the road, and now we have our 20th century barn as well. So really we're trying to embody East Tennessee history, and we want this place to be a place that people come to learn about East Tennessee.
And it's going to take some money, and you're going to be reaching out to the public over the next months and years to make sure that this is preserved the way y'all want to preserve it.
Absolutely. So going through our board members and our prior board members, we were able to raise over $435,000 to buy this piece of property. That being said, we're still going to need additional funds to be able to repair this, to put in these different things as far as amphitheater, walking trails, and that's why we're going out to the public to say, hey, can you help us, the association, this nonprofit, help preserve Tennessee? So what you can do is you can go to our website at RockyMountMuseum.com. You can make a donation or a pledge, and you can really help make an impact here in East Tennessee.
All right, Cody, we appreciate you having us out. Man, love coming out here. Always a great time when we come to Rocky Mount.
Chris, thank you so much for having us this morning.
Folks, it is Rocky Mount. It's located right out here in the Piney Flats area between Johnson City and Piney Flats. A beautiful place. If you've never been or you're new to the area, I encourage you to check out Tennessee's history that started right here at Rocky Mount.